Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses in New York, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. So question was, how do you find out what a house sold for? So the easiest way is to go to Zillow, assuming Zillow is connected to your local county's records and the county keeps track of the value, right, which happens by me a lot. You can just go to Zillow and check it. If it recently sold, it'll show you the price. Now, if Zillow doesn't show up and you think it did sell, you have an option of going directly to the county. So in Nassau County, there's a great website, U.S. Land Records. You need to know the section, block, and lot, which you can get from mynassauproperty.com. You put in a section search and you see, with the section, block, and lot, you can see a deed that recently took place, and if there's a price on it, then you know. Suffolk County is a lot more complicated. It's a huge pain in the ass to get public records from the Suffolk County Clerk's Office. You need the 19-digit SCTN, Suffolk County tax number, and then you need to go to the town and put it in there. It's harder. You go to the town to get the Suffolk County tax number, and then you put that into Suffolk County Clerk. Getting public data in Suffolk County is harder. But in general, if it closes quickly, you can look on Zillow. And if it's older, you can look at Zillow for the mortgage and transaction history. You can see that. Now, if you have a Propstream subscription, which I do, and I recommend to anybody who's not licensed and doesn't have access to the multiple listing service MLS to use Propstream, because it's really it's second place to MLS, but I would say there's only two ways you can really go compound properties and get values. So this is an important one, because there are people out there who are still getting values from like free sites like Trulia and Zillow. That's a huge mistake in our area. It can work in some place where there's a very homogeneous amount of inventory. So places like Lubbock, Texas, or Port St. Lucie, Florida, where it's pretty straightforward, right? Even in Dallas, most of Dallas is built after 1980. A lot of Florida was built after 1980. It's simple. You can see it. But in our area, I've seen Zillow off by $1 million. Honest to God, off by $1 million. And Zillow does not take into account difference in school districts or important things. So I would never come up with a value from Zillow in the New York City metropolitan area, Long Island. I would say you need either to be licensed and have access to multiple listing service, the MLS, which is the best. And then the second is Propstream, which is probably, and wasn't good until a few years ago, but it's got much better now. It's about 85% accurate. I think it's pretty good. You can get comps on it. You can draw a map. So if you have a Propstream subscription, which is $97 a month, and if you use my link, my affiliate link, I give my 10% commission back to you every quarter, then you can really get down and dirty and see what things traded for. They're very good with public data, even if it's old. So Propstream is really a valuable tool. I highly recommend people use it. If you're serious in this business, or you're working in an area away from you, Propstream is national. Propstream has improved dramatically. I don't use a lot of their ancillary services, like they skiptraced now and do other things. I don't use that, but I would say that for getting information on who an owner is, and foreclosure information, comps information, so comparable sales, Propstream is fantastic, a fantastic tool. I use it all the time. When I get called, I'm going to look into it and get as much information about the property as possible before I'm going out on an appointment. I want to know what they got paid. I want to know how long he's owned it. I want to know if he's in foreclosure. I want to know as much about the property as possible. If it's condo, I want to know the building. So I use it in other states too when I look at it. Propstream is a great tool. I highly recommend Propstream. It's really improved. There were people who swore by it 5 years ago. When I played around with it 5-6 years ago, it wasn't great for New York. They've improved significantly, so I definitely recommend them. So that's a good place to go for all information about a property. But again, it depends what county you're in. Every county has different capabilities, online capabilities to give out information. As I said, Nassau County is very good, which is shocking because most public information is extremely crappy in Nassau County. But to get recorded information, so you just want to record it. You want to see if a deed recorded. You can see if a mortgage recorded, which means they took a loan on the property. You can see if there's a list pendants, which means usually it's in foreclosure from the lender. So these are things you can look at. It's very, very good in Nassau, and really depends on what county you're in. So what am I, about 5 minutes into this thing? I don't know what else to say. It was a pretty straightforward question. So what else should we talk about? So here's an important thing that happens a lot when you are talking to a seller. Very often a seller is going to tell you a number that they want, and it says zero to do with the topic that we're discussing, but I figured it's important. Sorry for the yawn. It's very important that you do not think that hard about what number a seller gives you. Sellers screw with your head, giving you extremely high numbers sometimes. And what's really important is that you do your numbers, right? So your basic math, you figure out the ARV, you comp out the property. Let's say you want to buy it at 70% of ARV minus repairs. You have to make that offer, and you have to sort of make that offer without allowing what the seller said to come into your head. Now, when I make the offer, very often I say, listen, I know this is not what you want. I know you told me what you want, and I can't give you what you want. And maybe this is over. And usually they'll say, well, what's the number? What's the number? They want to know your number, right? By the way, after you give your number to the seller, you've lost all your leverage. At that point, they may hang up on you. They may not give you any information. So anything you need from the seller, like you want his email address, you want some information about timing, whatever it is, you want to ask that before you give your number. And listen, this is something I struggle with too, because somebody tells me a very high number, I'm skewed to go up a little on my price. But the truth is, ideally, you shouldn't be, right? You have a number, that's the number you should give. Do not worry about what number they ask for. It should be irrelevant. Sellers will very often give you crazy numbers. I'm making an offer today with a seller asks for, full-blown price on a property that is in horrible condition, right? Basically ask for ARV, and I can't give, I think I'm going to be $200,000 below that, right? So, but it's important for you to understand that you have to make your offers without taking into consideration what a seller says. Because first of all, sellers lie, right? I think this guy knows he's not getting that number. Second of all, you are at odds at some level. They want to get the most money, and you usually cannot pay the most money. And I'll say that to people, listen, if you want to squeeze every dollar out of a property, I'm probably not your best bet. You want to list it, right? And then you want to find out from them why they don't want to list it. If they do want to list it, I take listings, so I would be happy to take the listing. Some people don't, but you want to find out what it is. And I tell people all the time, if you want to squeeze every dollar out of this, you want to list it for sale. That is the best way to get the most money out of it. And it's important for every investor to understand that 90% in any market, in any given time, 90% of the houses are going to sell listed with an agent. Maybe 10% won't, and that's the 10% that we're trying to get a piece of. But the idea that, people don't know about listing, like some guy wants to sell to an investor, but when I talk to him about listing, he's going to say, oh yeah, I can list, is absurd. Everybody knows they can list, right? What you want when you say, why don't you list it, is you want them to say, I don't want to list it. I don't want to list it. I had a bad experience, or I don't want people coming into my house, or I don't want to deal with that. Right? We provide a service, right? And there's a cost for that service, and we're going to give them less money, but in exchange for the certainty and convenience that we provide, right? A standard seller to buyer contract in New York or any place has a mortgage contingency in it. That mortgage contingency really is a get out of contract free card. It allows anybody to get out. I was in the mortgage business for 17 years. I gave plenty of people denials who had no real reason to be denied other than they wanted it. It's very easy to deny someone for a mortgage. Documents expire. All kinds of simple reasons to deny people for a mortgage. So a standard contract, there are people who, and I've been dragged around through the mud for 3-4 months with people, and then they say, oh, sorry, we didn't get approved. That happens. So we provide the certainty that we're going to close. We have no contingencies in our contract, right? There's no inspection contingencies in New York. All inspections get done before contracts in New York. And we certainty and convenience that we're going to close on their timeline. We're going to not show the house 50 times, and we are going to not change the price later with different, wow, my contractor just showed up. He's about 2 days late. The certainty and convenience that we provide has value, right? Same as if you're buying a cup of coffee at Starbucks that should cost you 20 cents, it's going to cost you $6. It's the certainty and convenience that Starbucks provide, and we provide certainty and convenience to the seller, and they should understand, most of them do, that they're going to get less money for it. If people think they're going to get full value from an investor, then you have to educate them to why that's never going to happen, right? I'm not going to pay it. These are words that I say, that I teach people to say, the 3 magic sentences. I'm an investor. I have to buy properties at a discount to make a profit. It sounds like we're not a good fit. Those are the sentences you want to practice and say them 1,000 times to people, because if someone's not being nice, or if someone's not answering questions, or if someone just is being ridiculous, you want to say those things. And those are beautiful sentences. Only good things can happen when you say those sentences. The good things are, one, the guy goes, "You're right," and hangs up the phone, and you just saved yourself a lot of time that you would have wasted with somebody who's never going to sell to you. My contractor is now leaving. Or is that not my contractor? I don't know. Or the guy's going to go, "Wait a second, I need, oh, he's parking differently. Parking in a different place." Or he's going to say, "I need to sell to an investor." And that's when the truth comes out. So that's great. So you should not be afraid to say that to somebody. Logically, if you're new at this, you're afraid. You're afraid that if you say that to somebody, you're going to lose that $100,000 deal. Doesn't happen. If a guy really wants to sell to you, he's still going to be there. So again, the magic sentences are, I'm an investor. I have to buy properties at a discount to make a profit. It sounds like we're not a good fit. That's what you want to say. And then either the truth comes out, which is amazing, or the guy agrees with you, and then you just saved yourself time. So learn those sentences, use them. Unfortunately, this video has gone completely off the rails from what I asked for, but there was a simple question on how to find out what something sold for. So I hope this was helpful. If you are interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you are interested in a course I teach about how to do what I do, go to howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. If you are interested in learning more about one-on-one coaching that I offer, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. This thing in my head is really bothering me. But I hope this is helpful. Keep the comments coming. I try to go live 5 times a week. Comments help me by giving me topics to talk about. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any channel, please click the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much for watching.